Is Fireball the best cinnamon whiskey? Well, I know two heavy hitters that would have something to say about that. Jack Daniel's Fire and Jim Beam Fire. Which one of these three cinnamon whiskeys is the best? We're going to find out. So my lovely wife is going to rearrange these bottles and glasses, so I don't know which one is where. So, one second. All right, it's time to find out which cinnamon whiskey is the best. I grabbed the three biggest brands, so we're gonna find out. Now, one quick, very pedantic thing I need to say. These aren't whiskeys. Whiskey has to be at the very minimum 80 proof, 40% alcohol. These are not. These are strictly, at least Jack Daniel's and Jim Beam, described as cinnamon liqueur infused with bourbon or whiskey. Fireball, on the other hand, does not say that on their bottles and just says whiskey. It is not whiskey, but who cares? It is very popular, and we're gonna try those three today. Now, as always, I don't know which one is where. I'm gonna nose and taste these things. I'm assuming all identical palates, but maybe one of them will surprise me. They're all pretty close in alcohol content, between like 32 and 33%. So let's waste no time, figure out which cinnamon whiskey is the best for me. All right, number one. Good God. That's just sugar and Big Red. That's all that is. That's a sharper Big Red, less sugar. Okay, this smelled so much sweeter than this second one here. And what's number three here? Interesting, some fruit here. Oh man. Now again, Jack Daniel's and Jim Beam are huge, huge brands, and Fireball does one thing. So you'd assume that their one thing that they do will be the best. So let's sip these and see which one actually is. And again, at the end, I'm gonna try and guess which one of these is which. Let's go. That is, if you had the Fireball candies, bang, that's it. That's Big Red. That's less proof Goldschlager, if you've ever had Goldschlager schnapps. That is entirely too sweet, entirely just not what I'm looking for in something like this. I could understand how you could shoot these things. Again, they're not whiskeys, they're liqueurs. But my goodness, way too much sugar on this guy. I do not know what that is yet, but that's basically candy. And not like a good candy. Let's go with this one. Okay, less sweetness here, a lot more cinnamon, a lot more of that like fiery profile that they give you. I would say this one tastes like a Fireball candy after you've got that first layer off, if you've ever had one. A lot of that sweetness is gone. This is extremely cinnamon-like. Nothing else really on it. I mean, come on, guys. This is fire whiskey. Not a whole lot of complexities here, but I'm going to say it's way less sweet than this one. And I got fruit a little bit on this palate, or on this nose. So let's see what this palate gives me. That kind of tastes exactly like number one. My God, so much sugar. I'd probably just gained 5 pounds, to be honest with you. I can't quite decide here what I like the most. I'm gonna do one more sip of each one really quickly. I'm getting physically sick, by the way, drinking these. This is all nasty. I'm not enjoying this in the slightest. Let's go one more here. I mean, the colors are kind of different. This one seems to be like a little more pale, but they all look and taste and smell almost identical. That being said, this is overly too sweet. This almost tastes exactly like one. I don't like the sweet profile. Again, if you're a whiskey connoisseur, you're not going for whiskey or for Fireball or cinnamon whiskeys anyway. At least I don't. If you do, more power to you. Not my thing. So I'm not going for the sweet profile. So I think just because of all of that, just from here with the less sweet forward stuff, you know, more cinnamon and a little bit of that burn, and just way less of like, oh my God, I'm gonna basically drink cotton candy in that here. This one I'm gonna say is my favorite. So I think this one, absolutely I enjoyed the most. And I'm gonna go on a limb here, and I'm gonna say that this one is the Jim Beam Fire. I think that because I know that the Jim Beam Fire is infused with bourbon. Now it's not bourbon, it's infused, but I think some of that infusion with that flavor kind of cut down on a lot of the sweetness, and I think because of that, this one's gotta be the Jim Beam. These two are extremely similar to me, but I think this one is overly sweet, and I haven't had Fireball in a long time, but I think this one's Fireball, and I think this one is the Jack Daniel's Fire. I could be, I'm probably wrong. I'm probably wrong, but I'm gonna say this one's Fireball, I'm gonna say this one's Jack Daniel's, and then I'm gonna say favorite, second favorite, least favorite. So let me figure out what they are right now. Look at that, I'm right. Wow, 3 for 3, let's go. Yeah, doesn't surprise me that this kind of kept a lot of that sweetness with the Jack, just because like Jack isn't your typical bourbon. Again, I don't even know what they really say on the side of here. It just says cinnamon liqueur from the makers of Jack Daniel's. Yeah, so this doesn't even say infused with it, but this actually says liqueur on it, and this one does not. It says whiskey with natural cinnamon flavors. That's a lie, not whiskey. I think Jim Beam right here is the most accurate of the three descriptions. It literally just says cinnamon liqueur infused with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. And because of that, a lot of that sweetness got taken off of it, and it was much more palatable, at least to me. So Jim Beam Fire is the best cinnamon whiskey if you are a whiskey snob or a connoisseur. If you like the sweet stuff and don't like any burn, go for the Fireball or go for Jack Fire. These are basically the same. But anyway, one final thing. What do these three taste like when you mix them together? Well, let's find out real quick. I'm not a fan of this. This is the last sip I'm ever gonna take of these. Let's try the cinnamon whiskey kamikaze. You know what? They are best if you put them together. Seriously, that was not horrible. Anyway, like his versus videos, let me know. Comment down below, what whiskeys do you want to see go head to head to each other? Could be brands, could be styles, could be alcohol contents, could be whatever you guys want. Just leave me some ideas down below, because I love doing these things. The blind taste stuff is probably one of my favorite things to do for content. It's easy, it's fun, it makes you think, and it also allows me to try things I probably normally wouldn't try. So, like this video, give it a like. Not subscribed yet, make sure you do. One of the best ways to support me. There's one other way to do it. It's a join button right down here. That goes directly to me. Let's buy more whiskey, and you guys get some perks. Thanks to all my members already. You guys are awesome. But as always, see you guys next time, and cheers.